Jazakallah al-khair, Dr. Muhammad Salah. As I'd said earlier, we will not be taking questions after the lectures. We advise that you put down your questions. Inshallah, in the afternoon, we will arrange for a 1 hour or half an hour question and answer session. Now, I have received some gifts from Dr. Qahtani from Medina. One for the ladies and one for the brothers. However, I don't want to make it easy for one to get it. So I will ask a question, and whoever gets it right, inshallah, you will receive a gift from Dr. Qahtani. And let me start with the brothers. We've listened to Dr. Muhammad Salah, and I've picked quite a number of important lessons. A brother to tell us what they will live with from this lecture. One lesson that you have learned, the message that you have received, one of it. We have received a lot. I want to be fast. Okay, the brother there. Yes, yourself. No, stand up, please. No, this one here. Yes. Come in front, please. I can't hear you. Yes. The brother says, Jazahullah khair, that you should consult on a matter that you have no knowledge of. فَاسْأَلُوا أَهْلَ الذِّكْرِ إِن كُنْتُمْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. Mabruk. Sisters don't need to come forward. Just, yes, lesson learned. Lesson learned, yes. The sister there. All right, the upper hand is dearer, loved, and more important, loved by Allah than the lower hand. Congratulations. Jazakumullah khair. I would like to add the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who said, إِذَا جَاءَكُمْ كَرِيمٌ قَوْمٌ فَكْرِمُوهُ. When the honorable of a people come to you, you honor them. And therefore, I like to recognize the presence of our elder, Sheikh Akhtar Rao from Islamic Foundation, Chairman of Islamic Foundation. Jazakallah khair for coming. Also, the leader of majority in Parliament, my dear brother, Honorable Adan Duale. And also my elder, the former Senator, Bill Okero. Please. Shukran. So a few housekeeping. A few housekeeping rules. One is, in the event that you pick anything, please take it to the lost and found section. For the men, it is on that side left corner. And for the sisters, we have tents outside. So please, if you pick anything within the hall, which is not yours, and you're unable to identify who's the owner, please take it to the lost and found section. And those who may have lost something, please move there so that you could identify the item. Again, for first aid and any medical assistance for the brothers, as I said, it's on far left there. And for the sisters, we have a tent 2 meters from the door where you can get assistance. And I would request the brothers and sisters to please fill up the front rows so that we can make space for the others who are coming. Our second speaker for the day will be Sh.Wahaj Tarin, and he'll be speaking on brotherhood in Islam. Ustad Wahaj is a graduate as an extractive metallurgist. Sheikh Muhammad Salah talked about Muslim proficiency and Muslim professionals. Dr. Muhammad Salah, we are told, was an assistant professor in pharmacology. And now here we have an ustad who specializes in extractive metallurgist, and holds a master's degree in business administration. His passion for faith-based education has led him to be the Dean of Students at the Australian Islamic College. Also, he's the President of Islamic Motivations and conducts weekly halakas. So we invite Ustad Wahaj to share with us what Allah has blessed him with. Shukran.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. I know you've been sitting for a little while, so just before I start, we'll do a little exercise. If I can kindly ask everyone to stand up for a second, just kindly stand up. And I will say takbir, and you will say Allahu Akbar, but 3 times. And you don't just say it, you pump your fist with it so you get some blood moving in your bodies, right? So you say Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. And if you do it wrong, we'll keep practicing until you get it right, inshallah. So takbir. Nah, that was a bit soft. Nah, it was a bit soft. So takbir. MashaAllah, please take a seat, my dear brothers and sisters. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillahi al-azim al-khabir al-muta'ali. Alhamdulillahi alladhi la tuhjibuhu dhulumat al-layali. Alhamdulillahi alladhi arsal jibal al-awali. سبحانه من إله عظيم يغفر الذنوب ولا يبالي لا إله إلا الله بها نحيا وبها نموت وبها نلقى الله وبها نوالي وأشهد أن عظيمنا وقدوتنا ومولانا قرة عيني محمد ابن عبد الله عبده ورسوله وصفيه من خلقه وخليله أرسله كافة للناس بشيرا ونذيرا وداعيا إلى الله بإذنه وسراجا منيرا فبلغ الرسالة وأدى الأمانة ونصح الأمة فكشف الله به الغمة وجاهد في الله حق جهاده حتى أتاه اليقين فصلوات ربي وسلامه عليك يا سيدي يا رسول الله أما بعد. My beloved brethren, most respected elders, mothers and sisters, they tell me that you can choose your friends, but you can't choose family. So in friendship, you have a choice. Family, you're stuck with. And once a person is family, once he's your brother through thick and thin. He's your brother through health and sickness. He is your brother through prosperity or adversity. He is your brother through hardship or ease. He is your brother. Whether you're happy with him or sad with him, he is your brother. And brotherhood in our faith is of 3 types. Number 1, he is your brother by blood. So he has the same father as you. Or he is your brother by the womb, as in he has the same mother as you. Or he's your brother through milk, as in was suckled by the same woman as you. And all these 3 make a person brother or a sister. And as I said it, once he's your brother, you're stuck. You can't cut him loose, don't want to cut him loose. But you're my brother and you're my sister, and yet I don't share the same father as you, nor am I born from the same womb as you, nor have I been suckled by the same lady as you. Yet وَرَبُّ الْكَعْبَةِ, you're my brother. And your pain pains me, your happiness makes me happy, your joy delights me, I care about you, I have traveled the seas to come and meet you, because you're my brother and my sister. So what makes you my brother? And you are from Africa, and I am from Australia, originally Afghanistan. What is the magic that joins us together? From the different colors of the spectrum, speaking on the different languages on the frequency of sound. Some of us are from the islands of Japan, and others from the trenches of the French, and others from the deserts of, Africa, and what brings us together? What is the brotherhood here? Because I swear, and Allah's my witness on this, I love you as one would love a blood brother and more. And the same is true in return, because you've come from far and wide to see your brother and sister. So what is this magic that joins us together? This is the deen of Islam. Wallahi al-Azim, no other power on the face of this earth would have been able to bring such diverted hearts together. Allah says so. لو أنفقت ما في الأرض جميعا ما ألفت بين قلوبهم ولكن الله ألف بينهم. O Muhammad, had you were to spend every penny on earth, you wouldn't have brought their hearts together, but Allah brought it together. And today, the personification of the ukhuwah of Islam. I went to Hajj, and I was walking in Mina, the tent city. I was a young kid, and I saw a person, blue eyes, blonde hair, fair. And he saw me and he said, Assalamu alaikum. So I thought, maybe I know him. Maybe he's from Australia. Maybe he's seen me lecture somewhere. Maybe he knows me. So I said, Assalamu alaikum. And he said, from Russia. From Russia. And I am from Afghanistan. We had a problem with the Russians for a long time, But he's my brother and happy to see me. And I am happy to see him. And not only that, millions of people come there from all walks of life. A servant and a master, a doctor and a patient, a king and a servant, all together on all the colors of the spectrum, chanting on every language on the frequency of sound. United by this universal brotherhood that no other organization, nation, religion, cult has ever been able to reproduce. For years, for centuries, other faiths tried to replicate and duplicate. They would give you their faith, but you were supposed to go and pray in a separate church because your color wasn't the same as his. But not in Islam. At the outset when Islam came, look at this miracle. Islam came, and the Brotherhood of Islam, between Bilal, who is an Ethiopian Habashi, Salman, a Roman, Salman the Persian, Suhaib the Roman, and Muhammad the Qurashi. Nothing else could bring, and they pray shoulder to shoulder, next to one another, they cry together, and if one gets hurt, they're all there. This is the Brotherhood of Islam. And it's not a fragile brotherhood, because every other brotherhood is fragile. You have a normal brother, he does something wrong with you, for something serious, and then you go, khalas, you're not really my brother anymore. Your father might disown the person. And it's fragile, it breaks. You hear the verse of the Quran, إِنَّهُ لَيْسَ مِنْ أَهْلِكَ إِنَّهُ عَمَلٌ غَيْرُ صَالِحٍ. Allah himself says to Nuh is no longer your son. He has committed a deed that is wrong. As in other bonds, in the day of judgment, the bonds will break. قال تعالى يوم يفر مرء من أخيه. The day where a person will run from his own brother. All the other ones are fragile. This one stays. If you wrong me, if you talk behind my back, you're still my brother. أَيُحِبُّ أَحَدُكُمْ أَن يَأْكُلَ لَحْمَ أَخِيهِ مَيْتًا. Does any one of you wish to eat the flesh of the dead meat of your brother? Still brother, still he's your akhi. Even if you commit the colossal sin of, a Muslim dies at your hand, you will become the cause of the death of someone. The Quran says, يا أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم القصاص في القتلى الحر بالحر والعين بالعين والأنثى بالأنثى فمن عفي له من أخيه شيئا. If someone has killed someone from your family, the Quran says, whoever wishes to overlook and forgive the transgressions of his brother. You've killed my son, yet Allah still calls you my brother. This is, there's no break from it. This is the ukhuwah of Islam. And on the other side, all honor is based on the ukhuwah of Islam. There's, beautiful stories amidst the Sahaba. Dr. Muhammad Salah was here speaking. I heard just a little bit of it. Abdurrahman ibn Auf, he's a Qurashi, became a Muslim, struggled with the Rasul. The Prophet migrated to Medina. Abdurrahman followed. Distance between Mecca and Medina, 450 kilometers. Harsh terrain. And he walked it. He reached Medina al-Munawwara, having lost everything. So the Prophet ﷺ made a bond of ukhuwah between him and a person from the Ansar. And I want you to see that this wasn't lip service brotherhood. It wasn't just a rhetoric that people say. I want you to see brotherhood. So this newfound brother of Abdurrahman ibn Auf comes to him. He says, Ya Abdurrahman, my dear brother, come. I am the wealthiest man amidst the Ansar. So here's my wealth, I will divide it into two. You take half and I will take half. And here in one of the aqwal, here's my businesses. I have shops. Choose which one you like. Take one and I'll take one. I have 2 houses. Look at which one you like. You take one. And houses. And then worse than all of this, I have 2 wives. And we are Muslims. Honor is our code. Our women are our pride. We are not the wife swapping type. So this Abdurrahman ibn Auf hears his brother telling him that look at my 2 wives. See which one is more befitting you. I will divorce her, wait for her iddah to pass, and then marry her. Do you see brotherhood? And as our Sheikh said, Muslims were too honorable to take. So he said, listen, Allah bless you in your wealth. Just show me where the markets are. This is the brotherhood of Islam. And it is a brotherhood that transcends time and space. You will see it in the akhirah as well. I'll come to it in a second. But I want to give you just another example. A Sahabi came to the Prophet ﷺ, hungry, hasn't ate for a few days. So the Rasul saw his condition, and the Rasul's heart is full of kindness and mercy for you. So he asked, who will take my guests tonight. And times are hard. There's not much food in those days, in the early days of Medina. So one of the Muslims said, Ya Rasul, I will host your guests tonight. So he went home and asked the wife, what's available? She said, just a little bit, barely enough for me and you and maybe the kids. And those days, the system was that they just used to get a few morsels. No one ate till he couldn't move. This is our times. They just ate a few morsels. So it was a little bit anyway. So this Sahabi tells his wife, listen, put the kids to sleep. Trick them to sleep. Then me, you, and the guest will sit on the platter, on the plate of food. Then we'll turn the light off, turn it out, the little lamp or the candle. And then we will pretend to eat and let him eat. So he comes, they have put their crying babies to sleep. You know, which one amidst you would forego the food of his own child for another? That's what I'm saying. It wasn't a fake brotherhood. It was brotherhood to the bone. So the kids are asleep. They put the platter of food. The guest comes. They turn the light off. And they put their hands towards the platter, take it back empty to their mouths, and the guest keeps eating. You see the brother, and Allah recorded it in the Quran so that it becomes a testimony of Muslim brotherhood till Qiyamah come. وَالَّذِينَ تَبَوَّأُوا الدَّارَ وَالْإِيمَانِ. You know, from before, يُحِبُّونَ مَنْ هَاجَرَ إِلَيْهِمْ وَلَا يَجِدُونَ. And they do not find in themselves حَاجَةً مِمَّا أُوتُوا وَيُؤْثِرُونَ عَلَىٰ أَنفُسِهِمْ وَلَوْ كَانَ بِهِمْ خَصَاصَةٌ. They exert themselves, they push down their own selves and preference for their Muslim brother. This was the Brotherhood of Islam. It quashed all the theories of race and language and color in a beautiful narration. The first part of it is classified as Sahih by our Shaykh Albani rahimahullah ta'ala. The second part in the Sanad, they say fihi kalam, you know, and some scholars consider it da'if. But the story, I'll just say the whole story. Bilal radiallahu anh had an argument with Abu Dharr. In the argument, Abu Dharr got emotional and he insulted Bilal with regards to the color of his mother, called him or son of a black woman. You know, because they're Arabs, so it was an insult in the Jahiliyyah. So Bilal radiallahu anhu told the Prophet, and the Prophet heard what had happened. And the Prophet got angry with Abu Dharr al-Ghifari. And this part, which comes in one of the sharhs, Abu Dharr noticed that the Rasul is upset. And the Prophet told him why he's upset. You know, do you still have this elements of Jahiliyyah in your heart? So look at Abu Dharr, who slipped up in anger. Now puts his face on the ground, his cheek on the ground, and he says, I won't lift it until Bilal puts his foot on my face, to show that I have surrendered the elements of Jahiliyyah that might have persisted. And as I say, in the sanad of this last part, fihi dha'f. But nonetheless, I wanted to quote it just, so that it establishes my point. This was the brotherhood that Islam created. And in the akhirah, the day of judgment will come. It's a harsh day. It's a difficult day. And you know, it is a time where prophets are calling nafsi, nafsi. Everyone, you know, I recited verses, يَوْمَ يَفِرُّ الْمَرْءُ مِنْ أَخِيهِ وَأُمِّهِ وَأَبِيهِ وَصَاحِبَتِهِ وَبَنِيهِ. The day where children will run from their parents, brothers will run from their brothers, and you will run away from the most dear and near to you because you have your own calamity to bear. And the sun comes down and mankind swelt, and you're standing in puddles of sweat, and it's a harsh day. And that day, a call will be made. A call will be made. أين المتحابون بجلالي اليوم أظلهم في ظلي يوم لا ظل إلا ظلي. Where are those that loved one another for my sake? Where are those brothers and sisters that loved one another for my sake? Today I will shade them under my shade, the day where there is no shade but my shade. Do you see? This brotherhood lasts to the other side, and not only that, it is the cause of your honor on the other side. And this day finishes, hisab finishes. You go, inshallah, and may Allah make you and me of the people of Jannah. You will enter Jannah. And Allah will remove all impediments from your heart. وَنَزَعْنَا مَا فِي صُدُورِهِمْ مِنْ غِلٍّ إِخْوَانًا عَلَى سُرُرٍ مُتَقَابِلِينَ. That you will sit as brothers and sisters, reclined on cushions, conversing and enjoying. And as you're enjoying Jannah, as you're enjoying the delights of Jannah, you hear a call. A call will come. And it says, Allah Rabbul Izzah, Inna Rabbakum Tabaraka wa Ta'ala yastazirukkum fahayyi ala ziyaratih. Allah Rabbul Izzah wishes to have an audience with you, O people of Jannah, so come to the meeting of your Lord. So the people of Jannah flock, they're going to the meeting of Allah Rabbul Izzah. And what an honor, may Allah make me and you of the people of Jannah. Say Ameen, Muslims. So they will go, and their rides are prepared for them. You know, they will go to a vast valley. أمر الرب تبارك وتعالى بكرسيه فنصب هناك. Allah orders for his kursi to be placed there. And then the stations and the stages are set for the people of Jannah. And there will be stages, manabir min nur. You know, members, stations of honor made from light. Don't misunderstand, it's not glass that has light under it. It is made from light. Like when you sit on light. It is the most exquisite of the manabir in that day. Manabiru min nur. And others sit on manabir of dhahab and lu'lu and zubarjad and you know, different types of stations of honor, and people sit at different ranks. But on that day, the people who will occupy the most honored of seats, listen to the hadith. Al-mutahabbuna bijalali lahum manabir min nur yaghbituhum an-nabiyyun wash-shuhada. The lovers for Allah's sake, those brothers who loved one another for Allah's sake, those sisters that loved one another for Allah's sake, on that day will sit on stations of light. Prophets and martyrs will envy you. They will look at you and go, wow, Subhan al-Khaliq, who are those ones? Can you imagine the honor? So my dear brothers, cherish this brotherhood. Nourish this brotherhood. Encourage this brotherhood. Protect this brotherhood. The ashab were very keen on this brotherhood. In a beautiful hadith, Abu Idris, who is one of the tabi'een, he says, I entered the masjid of Dimashq, and I saw a young man, barraq al-thanaya, you know, a radiant smile. And yeah, my dear brothers, learn to smile. It is very important, especially when we live in countries where people want to see Islam from us. Don't walk around ghadbana asifa, you know, walk around with a smile, be pleasant. So this sahabi was sitting there, bright-faced, glowing smile, and around him people have gathered around him. So, he's a person that stands out in the crowd, and when they have a question, they bring it to him, and his word is final. A man of status and honor and, presence. So Abu Idris asked, who's that man? Who's the young man? So they said, this is Mu'adh ibn Jabal. This is the famous Sahabi. Imagine the Rasul told him, oh Mu'adh, I love you. The Rasul tells them, oh Mu'adh, this is Mu'adh ibn Jabal. So Abu Idris says, now there's a lot of people around him, it's hard to come, excuse me, Sheikh, I want to say salam. It wasn't the right environment for atmosphere for Abu Idris. So he said, I decided I will come for tahajjud salah. I will come early, and then I will get to meet him. So he said, I came early for tahajjud, but he was here before me. Sahabi of the Rasul. How are you going to beat a Sahabi? So he says, I waited for him to finish his salah. So Mu'adh ibn Jabal finished the salah. And Abu Idris walked to him from his front, so from the Qibla direction. And he said, Assalamu alaikum. Can you imagine what a blessed time where you got to shake hands with the Sahabi of the Rasul? And don't consider this a small honor, Muslims. The Rasul in a beautiful hadith says, يَغْزُو فِئَامٌ مِّنَ النَّاسِ. There will come a time where there will be a campaign, an expedition, and two groups will be left in deadlock. No one's winning. So the person will ask, أَفِيكُمْ مَنْ رَأَى أَوْ صَاحَبَ رَسُولُ اللَّهِ. Is there someone here who has laid eyes on the Prophet? Is there a companion of the Rasul in this gathering? A person will say, I am a Sahabi of the Rasul. The hadith says Allah will grant the whole campaign victory because amidst you lived someone that laid eyes on me. This is the sharaf of suhbah. So these were the tabi'een. They got to see those that saw the Rasul. So he came and said salam to him. And then he told him, I love you for Allah's sake. To Mu'adh ibn Jabal says, I love you, wallahi, or I love you for Allah. So he said, Mu'adh said, Allahi, you swear by Allah that you love me? So Abu Idris said, Allahi, wallahi. So the Sahabi asked again, Allahi, by Allah, you swear? He said, Allahi, I swear. He said, Allahi, by Allah, you swear? And Abu Idris said, by Allah, I swear. So he said, he grabbed me from my collar. And he goes, I have good news for you. I heard with my ears the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam say, وجبت محبتي للمتحابين فيا والمتجالسين فيا والمتزاورين فيا والمتباذلين فيا. My love, as in the love of Allah, becomes compulsory for the one who loves a brother for Allah's sake, who will sit with a brother for Allah's sake, who will visit a one for Allah's sake, who will exert himself for another for Allah's sake. Muslims, what an honor! That simply for loving one another, the Creator will love you. And insha'Allah ta'ala, this is my thiqah in Allah Rabbul Izzah, that we have come here today out of love for one another, visiting and sitting together out of love for our Lord. We love one another for Allah's sake. We have sit here for Allah's sake. We are visiting for Allah's sake. We are exerting ourselves for Allah's sake. And may Allah Rabbul Izzah make His muhabbat wajib on me and you, my Muslim brothers. Now we'll do a little exercise and I will end with this. If I can ask the brothers and the sisters to just stand up in a minute and turn to the person next to you or the persons next to you, give them a big hug and tell them, my brother, I love you for Allah's sake, or my sister, I love you for Allah's sake.
and I will make my way out through here, and I will hug whoever I meet on the way, but everyone else stay on that side, inshallah ta'ala. For your time and patience, I thank you. May Allah bless you and guide you and guard you. فَقُلْتُ مَا قُلْتُ إِن تَكُ حَسَنَةً فَمِنَ اللَّهِ وَإِن تَكُ سَيِّئَةً فَمِن نَفْسِي وَشَيْطَانٍ. Stand up, my dear brothers. Greet one another. May Allah love you.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I thank Allah that I was the first one to hug him and tell him, I love you for the sake of Allah. Subhanallah. We've had many speak about Brotherhood Islam, but personally, I have learned a lot in terms of the usloob, the approach that was used by the Sheikh. Again, I have gifts from Dr. Qahtani. And what is important is what we live with here. And therefore, once again, brothers, I ask, brothers are more concerned about hugging the Sheikh than my... Yes, once again, what lesson are you carrying home with? Yes, we had an answer from this side, so I'll have an answer. I want that young boy there behind, the young boy. Yes, come. Come, come.
We are brothers in Islam for the sake of our religion.
So, we are brothers in Islam for the sake of our religion, for the sake of Allah. Mabruk. The future of Islam is bright, mashallah. Yes, sisters. Your chance. We had from here. Let me start from here. Yes, the sister here in front of me. Love a brother for Allah's sake. Okay, which goes for sisters also. Jazakallah khair. Please pass this over.